A novel that I look forward to reading soon is Karla's Choice by Nick Harkaway. While Harkaway is a successful and celebrated novelist in his own right, when you consider that he also happens to be a son of the iconic espionage genre master John le Carré, it lends the novel some extra gravity. It is set after le Carré's memorable and pioneering The Spy Who Came In From the Cold, but before Tinker, Tailor, Soldier, Spy. Karla's Choice draws the spy master George Smiley out of his retirement. Here is a podcast generated by Google's AI Notebook LM based on my prompts.
Okay, so we're back for another deep dive, and this time we're going to be looking at Karla's Choice.
Yes.
Now, this is a book which is set in the world of John le Carré's George Smiley.
Right.
So that's kind of a unique thing for us, right?
Yeah, it is. I mean, le Carré is such a, such an important author for the spy genre.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he created this whole world, and this is somebody else coming in
It is.
and playing in that world.
Yeah, Harkaway's trying to sort of like
Yep.
step into le Carré's shoes in a way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is a book that bridges the gap between The Spy Who Came In From the Cold and Tinker, Tailor, Soldier, Spy.
That's right. Yeah.
It's a
whole missing decade.
Yeah, a whole missing decade.
In Smiley's life, yeah.
So what we're going to be trying to do here is get a handle on this book, Karla's Choice.
Okay.
And figure out, how it relates to le Carré's world.
Sounds good.
And what it tells us about George Smiley.
All right, let's do it.
All right, so the book opens in the spring of 1963.
Yeah, spring 63.
Cold War's going on.
Yeah.
Simmering away.
Yeah, Smiley's trying to retire.
He is.
Just get away from it all.
He wants a peaceful life away from the circus.
Yeah. But of course, that never really happens.
Oh, never going to happen.
Control calls him back in.
Of course, yeah.
And the mission seems pretty straightforward at first.
Right.
He's got to interview this Hungarian emigrant, Susanna.
Susanna, yeah, she's connected to this missing man.
Right. This is all tied to this defected Russian agent who has said that his target has vanished in London.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so Smiley's got to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, what happened to this target?
Yeah.
Why did they disappear?
And where does Susanna fit into all of this?
Right, what's her connection to all this?
Yeah, so things start to get a little complicated pretty quickly.
Oh, yeah. This is le Carré we're talking about.
Yeah.
It's never simple.
Never straightforward.
No, lots of twists and turns.
Exactly. And this whole thing with the title Karla's Choice
is interesting because Karla is Smiley's arch nemesis.
Yeah, his opposite number in Moscow Center.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we don't really see Karla in this book.
Not directly, no.
But you can feel his presence.
You can, he's kind of like a puppet master pulling the strings from the shadows.
Exactly. And so it makes you think about what choices Karla has made.
Yeah, what's he up to?
That have led to the events in this book.
Right, what game is he playing and how does Smiley fit into it all?
Right, and like we were saying, this book fits into this really interesting period in Smiley's life.
Yeah.
Right, it's after the events of Spy Who Came In From the Cold.
Right.
But before.
Yeah.
The stuff that happens in Tinker, Tailor, Soldier, Spy.
Yeah, so it's a crucial period in Smiley's development as a character.
Absolutely, yeah.
He's going through a lot.
Yeah, he's dealing with the fallout of what happened in Spy.
Yeah, the betrayal, the loss.
Yeah, and he's having to make some really difficult choices.
Yeah, some morally ambiguous choices.
Yeah, in this book. And you get the sense that those choices are going to have a big impact.
They have to,
on who he becomes.
I mean, this is what shapes him into the Smiley we see in Tinker Tailor.
Right, and so we've got this book that tells a really compelling story.
It does.
In its own right.
Yeah, it's a great spy thriller.
Yeah. It's got all the twists and turns.
Yeah, and the moral dilemmas that you expect from le Carré.
Right, but it also
gives
us this deeper understanding of George Smiley.
Yeah, it adds a whole new layer to his character.
Yeah, and it makes you rethink those later books in light of what you learn here.
Yeah, you start to see those events in a new light.
Absolutely. So it's a really valuable addition to
le
le Carré's world.
A must-read for any le Carré fan.
I think so, yeah.
Right.
So I guess the final question for our listeners is, knowing now what you know about the events and Karla's Choice, how do you think those events might specifically impact Smiley's approach and his decisions in those later confrontations? with Karla?
That's a great question.
Yeah. Something to think about as you're reading.
It is. Yeah. Something to ponder.
Yeah.
How does this experience change him?
Exactly.
How does it affect his future decisions?
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Thanks for having me.
Into Karla's Choice.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah. And we'll see you next time.
See you next time.